besties, and welcome back to my channel. Tonight I thought it would be fun to take you along on a little sleepover. I have 3 books that I'm in the middle of, and I kind of want to see how much I can finish them tonight. I have an audiobook, an ebook, and a physical book that I am trying to get through. For my audiobook, I am reading An Education in Malice. I'm 42% through. I'm not loving it. I am hoping that it gets a little bit more interesting because I read A Dowry of Blood by the same author and I really enjoyed it. This one's just not quite there for me yet, but we'll see how that goes. I do listen to audiobooks while I do like puzzles or I'm driving or doing chores. I did majority of the chores that I have to do today. I do have a little bit to do tonight, like put away some dishes, feed the dog. I'll be doing the audiobook while I take care of those things. The other book that I'm reading is on my Kindle. It is One of Us is Dead. It was the book that was picked for book club, which this is my first book club ever. And this book club just got created. It kicked off September 1st. We're still voting on what day we're meeting up, but it will be at the last week of September. So I want to just get this book out of the way so I don't have to think about it. Not that I'm not enjoying it, I just don't want to forget that I have to have this read. And then next thing I know, book club, and I didn't finish it. Other than that, I am reading An Ember in the Ashes, which is a buddy read with 2 of my girlfriends. One of the girls, it's a reread for her because she wanted to reread Before Air, which we're all gonna read together. Then the other one and me, it is our first time. I thought it would be fun to kind of update you guys on our reactions. Right now, one of the girls lives in Alaska, the other one lives in Texas. We just have to kind of use texting as a way to update each other on our reads. One of them is already way ahead. I marked the spot that she was at, which I need to push it even further out because she kept reading, which is fine. I told her I would catch up. And I am on page 30 and she's on 169. So I have some reading to do and I'm liking it. It seems really interesting. There's a lot of action in the beginning, but I don't really know what's going on. Like, I don't know who I should be rooting for. I don't know who's good. I don't know who's bad. People are already dead. It's going places. But I have a couple of chores to do. I'll bring you along for those. We'll do a little bit of self-care. I have like a face mask and brush my teeth, get ready for bed, etc. I already took a shower earlier because I self-tanned, which you probably can't even tell. I self-tanned for the first time. It came out pretty light. I didn't realize that at the very bottom of all the steps it said to repeat step 1 if you wanted a darker tan. I probably should have done that, but it's not bad. I'm not orange. That's good. We just moved into this house a year ago. It was empty. Both of us didn't have like furniture at all. We had to furnish the whole place. We didn't even have blinds or curtains. We just got those up in the past 2 weeks. I'll show you guys my room a little bit and kind of the plans that I have going on. I do have some things coming in tomorrow that I have to build. I'm hoping that it works out. I don't want to talk about it in case I jinx it or it doesn't work the way that I want it to in my head. It is 7:54. I'm gonna feed my dogs and put away the dishes before I get cozy and in for the night. My dogs will annoy me if I don't feed them like 8 o'clock on the dot. I have one that he just knows the time. I don't know how he knows the time, but he knows the time. I'm not even like always on time at 8 a.m. on the dot. He's trained me that 8 p.m. is when they need to eat. He's very hyped about his food. I cannot keep him waiting or else none of us are gonna have a good time. I have to feed this one with a slow feed because he doesn't know how to savor his food. And the last thing I want to deal with is bloat, and I'm pretty sure that's the last thing he wants to deal with. Hey. Really? Now I am gonna put away dishes. Second least favorite chore. Laundry is definitely my least favorite chore. So while I put these away, I'm just gonna listen to my audiobook because every minute counts. I know this is gonna look a little rough, but I had to get a lot of stuff out to get in preparation for what we're gonna put in here. I started by ripping out the trim so that I had about 2 feet wide of space. And then I removed the bar and shelf that was in here. I put the TV in here because I have my chair over here, my workstation over here, and then I could just kind of watch the TV. But I am planning on putting kind of like a bed and some bookshelves that are gonna wrap around the wall. And I'm probably going to take the TV and put it up on this wall and leave my computer and everything here. I plan on painting the walls. It's just gonna be a little bit until I can do that. And I do want to replace the flooring because we have the builder grade ugly carpet and I'm pretty sick of it. But I did just get these curtains in, and then my bar up here is brassy color. Almost like a sage green. And then I found these tie bags and I think they're so pretty. And you can adjust this so you can spin the leaf to show in whatever direction you want. The audiobook, again, that I'm listening to is An Education in Malice by S.T. Gibson, which is the author of A Dowry of Blood, which is a book I absolutely love. I picked it up because I've been on like a vampire kick lately. I want to read as many vampire books as I can, and this is a sapphic, dark academia, academic rivalry type situation. It almost has like a love triangle going on right now. I don't know if that's just the vibe I'm getting or if it's something that's actually going to come into fruition later on in the book. There is Carmilla, which is kind of like the golden child in class, and then you have the teacher Fontaine, and then we have Laura, and the chapters alternate in between Laura and Carmilla's point of view. You don't see the teacher's point of view at all. Writing just seems very surface level. I feel like there's some depth that's lacking. I'm not very attached to the characters at all. I'm not really attached to the story. I'm going to finish it because I want to be able to say that I read the whole thing, and if that's how I end up feeling about it, at least I can stand by the fact that I read the whole book. What the takeaway here is, I don't understand the purpose of this book so far. I can't really see the end goal. I need a plot. Can't quite tell where we're going with the plot right now. I should probably get better at DNFing, but at this moment, it is what it is. As for One of Us is Dead, I am 51% in. I'm gonna try and get to 55%, and then I'm gonna go do my face mask, brush my teeth, kind of get ready for bed. I'm definitely not going to bed anytime soon. I took a nap earlier. I have this. I didn't just open this. I've been drinking this all day. I'm really bad at finishing drinks. It takes me a long time. We're gonna try and get to 55%, go take care of that, and then I'm gonna jump into my buddy read of An Ember in the Ashes. One of Us is Dead. The best way I could describe it is Real Housewives of Buckhead, I think is what this city is called. It's a bunch of rich housewives, and all they do is try and one-up each other. There's a lot of arguments, there's cattiness. Olivia is the queen bee, and she is absolutely annoying. I can't stand her. She finds a way to put everyone down. When she's complimenting you, she somehow makes it about herself. Like, there's Jenny, who is the hairstylist. She runs this salon that does like mani-pedi, waxes, lashes, hair, anything that you can think is like a one-stop shop, and she owns and runs that. And she'll just be like, oh my god, you have a way of making me look so great. It's kind of like a compliment, like, oh, you did a good job, but she makes it about her. Whatever. Then we have Karen, who is like a real estate queen. She has her own real estate company that she heads. They all have their husbands, and the husbands all kind of know each other. Right now there's drama because it's come to light that somebody's wife is sleeping with somebody's husband. There's a divorce going on outside of that situation. The salon owner just got robbed, and they found out another one of the wives that's from the south has a gun, and they don't like her because she doesn't care about looking prim and proper and brand name things, and she's a country girl at heart, and she's gonna eat what she wants and she's gonna drink what she wants. She's a beer girl, love that, while they're over there like, oh my god, you don't drink martinis? Why don't you drink martinis? It's not classy. And then they're judging her because she took cheese and put it on her croissant. You leave my girl alone. Okay? And it's getting good. It moves quick. It's holding my attention. I live for the drama. I also haven't found out which one of them is dead. I have a guess because there's been some statements made, but I know majority of books like this kind of try to make you believe the opposite, so that it's a surprise in the end. Still looking at some people sideways. The bullying in this book is just next level. I feel so bad for some of the girls in here. I can't wait to see what happens. Maybe it's not even a wife that's dead. Maybe it's a husband. The other thing that's hard to keep up with in this book is there's so many different point of views, and then on top of that we have different timelines. There's the then before the murder, I'm guessing, and then the present where one of the girls is being interviewed by the lead detective. And there's so many husbands and wives that it's kind of hard for me to be like, okay, who is who did what, what's their jobs? It's a bit much. One of the girls brought up that she thinks one of the husbands is sleeping with one of the wives, and she told the wife of the husband that may be having an affair that she should hire a PI. I have a feeling it's gonna get interesting. Don't think this person killed the wife, but one of the wives, Crystal, slept with Shannon's husband. His name is Bryce. He eventually divorced Shannon and married Crystal, and of course Crystal is 25, very, very young compared to them. And Olivia, the meanest of them all, says what Crystal did to Shannon was the worst thing you can do to an elite housewife. Actually, the worst thing she could have done to Shannon was kill her. Heck, maybe now that was the only way to make things right. It would be the humane thing to do, and it would be for the best of all of us. Put Shannon out of her misery like an old mangy dog. She's evil. But I got to 56%. We're gonna go put on a face mask, and then we're gonna switch to the third book of the night. The face mask that I have is Peach Slice's Snail Rescue Jelly Mask. It feels really weird. It literally feels like you took slime from a snail and just put it on there. I don't know if it works. I don't know if it does anything. I don't know if any face mask works, but we do it. Floss your teeth, brush your teeth, and then we'll wash this off, and I believe it's 15 minutes. So we're gonna do this. It's literally like jelly. Those sit for 15 minutes and we'll be back. And Ember in the Ashes is the book that I'm doing a buddy read with, and I'm not entirely sure what it's about so far. I know that there's a brother and sister, and she thought her brother was in cahoots with the Empire. From what I'm getting, the Empire is not good. Like, you're not supposed to have books. You're not supposed to be teaching, I guess. The Empire found out that the brother had a book type journal thing, so they came to the house, and I don't want to spoil too much, did something not great to the family. Her and her brother took off running, and we're trying to figure out what's going on with them. And then there's another character in here. There's the point of view of the sister Leia, and the other point of view is Elias. And Elias is, I'm guessing, part of, like, with the Empire. They say that there's levels in the Empire, and I guess one of the big scary ones is called the Mask, and he's in training for the mask, and he has his mask. They wear this mask and it melds to their skin and just becomes a part of them, but he doesn't like it. He doesn't want to be part of this at all, but if you desert, they bring you back and they either like torture you, jail you, or kill you. He doesn't like it. He takes off his mask as much as possible so his hasn't melded with his skin, and of course the other masked people are saying like, oh my god, it hasn't even got stuck to your skin. Little did they know he doesn't care and he doesn't want it. I am on chapter 4. We're in Elias's point of view. So I'm on page 30 and I need to get to page 87 to catch up with her. Something just got revealed. It's interesting when you think a character is someone they're not, and then there's this revelation that you realize that there's a connection somehow. I'm gonna text her what just happened. The Empire is what I'm assuming is supposed to be bad guys, and then there's the Resistance. I haven't watched Star Wars. It kind of sounds like the premise of Star Wars. And Leia, I need to look up how to say her name. But she is trying to find the Resistance so that the Resistance can help her get her brother back because he was captured. And the Resistance lives in these catacombs. It's almost like the catacombs that are in Paris. It's a bunch of tunnels and everything underneath the city, and it hasn't really been mapped out. So the Resistance hides in there. It's harder for the Empire to find them. If you don't want anything to be spoiled 30 pages in, you can skip ahead 15 seconds. But I texted her that the commandment is his mom. The commandment is who's in charge of the Empire, I'm guessing. And it just revealed that that is Elias's mom, and he is considering trying to desert. He doesn't want any part of this anymore. That'll be interesting because if you desert, they usually kill you. She said yes. Wild. She hates him. Okay, got to chapter 6. I'm gonna go wash this off and we're gonna keep reading. See how much reading we can get done within the next however long I stay awake. It just explained what the point of Black Cliff is, which is where Elias is training and trying to run away from. There's different years. I think it's a total of 15 years, and there's different steps and trials and tribulations that they have to go through to advance to the next year. It's created because the current emperor, which is big scary evil guy, came and took over everything and squashed all the scholars, drove them underground pretty much. He's currently reigning. Augurs, I think is how you say it, are kind of like a fortune teller is the vibe that I'm getting. They can tell the future, they see visions, and they saw a vision that this emperor, these names are hard, which I believe is Teus. They saw that one day his line would fail, and they got together and they created Black Cliff because they're going to train up the new emperor. They're trying to eventually pick one to replace him, and I'm hoping that we get a little bit more of the training. I don't know if we're gonna see that before he deserts, if he deserts or not, because I love trials and I love academic settings. I haven't read Fourth Wing yet, but I heard that is a big part to it, so I'm excited to get to that when I do. I plan on reading it in December because Onyx Storm comes out in January. I figure I'll read those two and then I'll read Onyx Storm right after. I can also read mine. They kind of remind me of the cereal from ACOTAR. I'm gonna tell Stephanie that right now. I love this cereal. Maybe I'll be that for Halloween. My boyfriend just comes home and I'm dressed like the cereal. He'd lose his mind. He would think I lost my mind, actually. Stephanie said, yes, I thought the same thing too, but definitely not as sassy and cool. Definitely not. I love when you get to the part of the book that mentions what the title is. So it says, "This life is not always what we think it will be," Cain says. "You're an ember in the ashes." Elias Viturius. "You will spark and burn, ravage and destroy. You cannot change it. You cannot stop it." And that's really stressful because he doesn't want any part of that. So now I'm really concerned. Is he going to turn evil? Is it his choice to turn evil? Is this mask going to like overtake him? What you want doesn't matter. Tomorrow you must make a choice between deserting and doing your duty, between running from your destiny and facing it. If you desert, the augurs will not stop you. You will escape. You will leave the empire. You will live, but you will find no solace in doing so. Your enemies will hunt you. Shadows will bloom in your heart, and you will become everything you hate. Evil, merciless, cruel. You will be chained to the darkness within yourself as surely as if chained to the walls of a prison cell. That's intense. But if you stay, if you do your duty, you have a chance to break the bonds between you and the empire forever. You have a chance at greatness you cannot conceive. You have a chance at true freedom of body and of soul. Dang, that's crazy. These fortune tellers, you know, they give you just enough and then they leave you confused. Now I'm just as confused as him. If he stays, he has a chance of breaking the bond forever. But that could mean like death. Like his bond's gonna be broken forever if he's dead. Or maybe he's gonna be picked as emperor, then he has the chance to change how things are ran. I don't know. That's a tough decision to go or stay. I guess he could try staying for a little bit and see if it comes to light or not. It's a tough one. She's just been asked to spy on Blacklist, so where Elias is at. I wonder when the crossover is going to be. So my choices are to stay and be evil or to run and be evil. Wonderful. Yeah, my thoughts exactly. The augurs, I think that's how you say it, just showed up to the graduation and said trials are starting. I'm so freaking excited right now. I haven't heard back from Stephanie. I don't want to get too ahead of her. I'm like 2 pages behind. I don't know if she's still been reading in the meantime, but I don't know if I can put this down because I love trials. Like Hunger Games, Maze Runner. Harry Potter when we had the Goblet of Fire. Gonna be so good. Texted her to let her know that I was caught up. I haven't heard back. Don't want to keep reading because I don't want to get too ahead of her, but I do want to keep reading because I'm super into this. I'm just gonna read one more chapter because that's not like too far ahead in case she stopped on this specific page. And then I'm gonna switch back to my Kindle and probably go lay down because it is 10:37. I'm so stupid because she sent me a screenshot earlier where she was at and it says chapter 11 and I'm like, okay, I'm past that. And then I realized that she's actually on page 169. Her Kindle, when she screenshot it, the chapters are wrong for whatever reason. So she's actually on page 169 and I am only on page 101. So I get to keep reading, which I'm so excited because I just got to Blackcliff under the disguise of being a maid, and she's going to be a maid to the commandant, which is a very evil, scary lady. He's starting the trial soon. Hopefully I hear from her that I get to keep reading throughout the whole night, but at least I have about like 69 more pages that I can read through. She just got there to the commandant and the commandant tells her, oh, look at me or look past me and look at the wall. And the wall behind her is covered in pictures, like wanted posters and whatnot of the names and what they're wanted for and the amount of money that their reward is for catching them or killing them. And she sees the poster of her parents. Commandant said she is responsible for everyone that's on that wall, which means that she is responsible for her parents' deaths. Not good. We love a connection though. Our FMC and MMC have met, but it was very brief and they don't really know who each other is. That was a nice little treat. They are now going over the trials and it looks like there is 4 of them. Courage, cunningness, strength, and loyalty. If you win the trial, you will get a token. If you don't win, you get to stay alive. If you fail, then you're executed. So that's great. If you win 2 trials, you'll be victor. If you win 1, you'll be second, which is blood strike, second in command, and the others will die. There will be no ties. I just got to the point that Stephanie left off on, and the biggest cliffhanger that any chapter has left off on, but I don't want to get ahead of her. I'm about 95% sure this is going to be 5 stars. I don't want to put it down. I think it's really good. The scene, the first trial just came to a conclusion and it was so good. It wasn't scary or super intense, but her descriptors are so vivid, and what his biggest fear was felt so sad and intense. Something else was revealed that is totally insane, and if that is true, there's some issues in this family. Since I don't want to get ahead of her, I'm gonna switch over to my Kindle and try and get through as much as I can of One of Us is Dead, and then we'll hang out a little bit in the morning. I'm currently at 58%. I'm gonna try to get to 65 before I fall asleep. A little tip, if your significant other all of a sudden wants to up your life insurance, that's weird. Be a little suspicious. Of course, it's always when you're like, I'll stop reading after this next chapter, that chapter ends up being the most entertaining one, but I'm tired, so I'm going to go to bed. But there's just 2 things that came to light that are something and really makes me hate Olivia so much. I hope she gets redemption, like a redemption arc or something for her sake, but I don't ever see her coming back from any of this she's done. I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning. I actually ended up staying up pretty late last night because I got super into the book. I couldn't go to sleep because I kept thinking about it. Got to 90%. I'm almost done. I'm gonna make some coffee. Dogs are already fed. We're gonna finish up this book, and also all of my Amazon packages showed up. We're gonna build some stuff today. We definitely need to restock these. We have some left in the meantime. I'm out of breath because I just brought all of these boxes in. I am going to finish up One of Us is Dead, and then I'm gonna call it a day probably, so I can go tackle that. Let's read 10% more and we'll be done. That character that I hate, I don't think is gonna get a redemption arc. So much stuff just happened and I still have 6% more to go. Sorry, my dog is chewing his bone. He's a puppy and it's better than chewing anything else in the house. When I saw that this book was picked, I wasn't thrilled to the Goodreads score, and I was like, eh. I also read A Perfect Marriage by her, and I thought it was kind of so-so. It has so much drama, and I love Real Housewives. This is Real Housewives on a different level, but it was still good. It definitely didn't go how I thought it was gonna go. I knew obviously somebody was dead, but I didn't expect who killed who and who died to be who they were. Well, kind of who died. This was good. One of Us is Dead. I'm gonna give it probably 4 stars. I do recommend it, especially if you need something that's fast-paced and just easy to digest. You don't really have to think about it. There's no like world building. It's just a rich town with rich people and dirty secrets and politics. Now that I finished that, I'm gonna go shower. Thanks for spending the night. I have a lot of things to build. See you next time.